I'm Amy Stossville, and welcome to part one of the Body After Baby Recovery Program. This section is called Restore, and these exercises are terrific for starting an exercise program at 6 weeks postpartum with your doctor's clearance, of course. But they're also great for anyone that's even further out, even 6 years, 10 years postpartum. This is a great place for you to start as well. So I just need to make the point to you, no matter how fit you were during your pregnancy, or in the opposite direction, no matter how unfit you were during your pregnancy, these are the exercises to start with. This is where you need to be because these exercises help train your body to close any type of abdominal separation you may have had. And even if you didn't get it during pregnancy, some of the things that we do can actually lead to that separation. So you want to make sure that you're aware of that vulnerability and we're really protecting it and helping to close it or keep it closed if it's not already open. The second thing is we're reactivating and waking up our pelvic floor. So if you are 6 weeks postpartum, this will be hard to do, but just know if you lay down and go through the motions of actually sending those signals from your brain to your muscles, you may not even feel anything working yet, but the more you send that signal there, the more likely you'll be waking those muscles up and they'll actually start moving. So keep trying, because I know at the beginning it's really hard to get anything going there. So let's get started. I want you to go ahead and lay down on your back and have your knees bent with your feet hip width apart, and go ahead and relax your arms. And so the biggest thing that I can tell you right now is you need to make sure your back is glued flat to the ground. We definitely don't want any arch in there, nothing, because then that splays out our rib cage. So the more you can glue that cement it down to the ground, the better off you'll be and the more effective these exercises are. So the first one's called the pelvic tilt, and we're going to do 8 to 10 reps of each one. So what I want you to do first is put your hands, your 2 fingers on each hand, onto your hips, and then go in towards your belly button about an inch from there. And I want you to just take an inhale and an exhale, a forceful exhale, and feel underneath your fingers to feel the tightening of your transverse. So go ahead, inhale, exhale. So your pelvis is going to tuck slightly on that exhale, and you're going to feel that transverse activate underneath. So on this one, inhale, exhale to tighten that transverse, pulling that rectus abdominis together, and then also pulling up on your pelvic floor. Here's the bad breath. You're just really not engaging the back muscles at all in this section. You're just doing the breath with the co-contraction of the transverse and the pelvic floor. So again, inhale, exhale, and you'll really feel a tightening all the way around. So feel for that activation. Inhale, exhale. Inhale again, exhale to contract. So when I say pelvic tilt, this is what I mean. So we're going to inhale, and then on the exhale, you're going to ever so slightly bring your pelvis off the floor. So it's an inhale to bring it down, exhale, inhale down, exhale up. So you're shortening the distance between your rib cage and your pelvis with each inhale, exhale to engage. And now what you can really do is with your hands, just manually close that gap together. So it's an inhale down, exhale up, inhale down, exhale up. So what we're doing with these exercises is just retraining our muscles to lay down flat and come together. 2 more. Exhale to bring that pelvis up. Now keeping the tuck with that pelvis, you're going to go ahead and bring your hands back down and bring your feet into 90 degrees. So now you're still kind of tucked with that pelvis, and you're just going to start marching. You're going to inhale down and exhale to bring that leg back up. Inhale down, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Now you'll notice that my feet are not going very far. That's because the closer I get to the ground, the more my back has a tendency to come up. And so this is a really isolated movement, and I know your legs are moving, but you really want the movement to actually come from the core. Use that core on the exhale to bring that leg back up. Good job. can even hold your abdominal wall in manually just to keep it from splaying open. So we got the inhale to expand, exhale to come up. And you'll notice that I'm not exactly ever letting go of the contraction. If you were to put your fingers down around your rib cage, you'll notice that corset muscle, that transverse, is staying contracted the whole time. It's just more so on the exhale. So it's contracted on the inhale, but even more so on the exhale. Contracted on the inhale, more so on the exhale. Inhale down, exhale up. So from here, now we're just going to bring our legs together and move them as one piece. Now I should say that this is probably as far as some of you will want to go. This is it. This is hard enough. And 8 reps of each of those exercises I just showed you will be plenty to get you going and to start activating those muscles again. So it's an inhale down, exhale up, keeping that back, careful to keep it glued down. So inhale down, exhale up, inhale down, exhale up. This is where I stayed for a long time, was just with that pelvic tilt and maybe the marching one. That's as far as I would go for like the first, 2 weeks after I was cleared for exercise, and it was plenty. I was fatigued every time I did them. So here we go with the inhale down, exhale up. So keep your legs here at tabletop. And now what you're going to do is, instead of pulling them down, you're actually just going to try to slide them parallel to the floor. It's just another tiny little movement with the inhale out and the exhale to come back in. Inhale out, exhale in. So what you're doing is you're trying to exhale as much as possible and tightening as much as you can on that exhale. So go at your own pace, because sometimes I have a tendency to go fast just because I'm talking, but you really want to emphasize that exhale, because this is where the magic happens. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. So it's kind of different, right? You're working that transverse instead of doing a typical crunch. You're actually just working to keep this body part together, to bring it all back to where it was before you were ever pregnant. 2 more. Inhale out. Inhale out. Exhale to draw it in. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Even tighter. Tight, tighter, tightest. There you go. Good job. Now what I'm going to have you do is grab this toning ring. You've seen it. I have it on my website. So this is just really effective. So you're welcome to stay there with those 3, or when you become more advanced, that means when those 3 exercises weren't that difficult for you, I want you to go ahead and put this in between your knees, and we're going to lock our feet together. Right now I've got my left on top of my right, and all I'm going to do is do that bad breath with the compression of this ring. So I'm going to inhale, exhale to squeeze. Inhale, exhale to squeeze. So I'm actually engaging my transverse and my pelvic floor on that exhale. And I'm also squeezing my inner thighs, because I know from the research I've done that the stronger our inner thighs are, the stronger our pelvic floor is as well. All of this stuff is connected, and it makes sense. So exhale on the squeeze, inhale out. Exhale to squeeze. Inhale to soften, exhale to engage. Last one. Good job. Now just go ahead and switch your feet so your right foot is on top. Same thing. So really making sure that back is glued down. Retuck your pelvis up, and you do an inhale, exhale to squeeze. So you can kind of see probably a subtle little movement, but inhale and exhale, I'm actually pushing down on the floor because my pelvis is coming up slightly. Three more. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. Good job. So now all we're going to do is keep our feet the way they are, and we're going to inhale and exhale with a little pelvic tilt, just a tiny tilt towards your forehead, I should say. So here we go. We're going to inhale, exhale up. Inhale, exhale up. So each inhale, I'm squeezing again on the ring and pulling it towards my forehead. Squeeze on the inhale, exhale up. Squeeze on the inhale and exhale up. Good job. So this one really starts to tire me out, and you can see how having this ring is a more advanced move. So inhale, exhale up. So why don't you go ahead and switch your feet, and we're just going to get that other side that we missed at the beginning. So inhale to squeeze, exhale up. Inhale to squeeze, exhale up. So again, when I'm inhaling, I'm not really letting go of this contraction. And my transverse is getting very tired. And I'm about almost 2 years postpartum now, which is crazy to me. Ah, my baby's so big. Inhale, exhale to squeeze. Inhale, exhale to squeeze. Now all I want you to do is take the ring out and go ahead and put it in between your ankles and go ahead and do a 90 degree with your toes pointed, and you're just going to squeeze on that ring and exhale up. Squeeze on that ring, exhale up. Squeeze, exhale. So each exhale, you're bringing your toes towards your forehead. So 90 degrees for the inhale, and exhale forward. You can see my legs are on fire. But just keep doing this range of motion. It's tiny, but effective. And yes, your legs are going to be tired, but your abdominals should be tired too. So if you do need more support, go ahead, keep that back flat. Go ahead and put your hands on your stomach muscles and hold that rectus abdominis together. Inhale, exhale. So now all I want you to do is go ahead and bring your legs down for a second. Go ahead and put them on the inside of the ring. So now we're just going to do basically the opposite of that. We're going to push out into the ring and exhale up. So inhale to press out on that ring, exhale up. So you're kind of letting go each time. Inhale out, exhale up. It's just a minimal amount. So you've got 8 of these. Okay, it's been a while since I've done those, so that tired me out too. So now just to finish up, all we're going to do is roll over onto our stomach, and we're going to do some back extension work. And so all I want to do is teach you the breath first. So go ahead and extend your arms and your legs. And what you're going to do is you're going to inhale, and then on the exhale, all you're thinking about is your abdominal wall coming up off of the mat, pulling your belly button back towards your spine, just with the breath. So just laying here breathing with that correct engagement of the bad breath, you'll be working your back muscles as well. So here we go. It's an inhale and an exhale to engage. And if you want to go ahead and put your hands on, you'll see this tightening. It's awesome. You can feel through, I don't know, the other layers of fat, or let's just say the other layers of muscle, just to make ourselves feel better. But you can really feel the tightening on the exhale. So it's an inhale to let your stomach flat or soften and relax onto the floor, and then an exhale to bring it up off of the mat. So we do about 5 breaths of that. So it's an inhale and an exhale up. And don't forget your pelvic floor. It should be contracting every time. So inhale, exhale. Exhale up. So now what we're going to do is go ahead and extend our arms and our legs. And so on the inhale, they're down on the ground. The exhale to come up. Inhale down, 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 exhale to come up. So the more forceful that your breath is, the more you can pull that belly button off the ground. So don't be afraid to breathe really hard and heavy. It's okay, you're probably alone in your bedroom, or your baby's right next to you. Good job. So now just hold that extension, and all you're going to do is just tiny little squeezes up without going down to the ground. You're just going to, your breath will be faster. So it's an inhale, exhale. exhale, exhale, exhale. Each time you do that tiny little lift, you're exhaling out. So you got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I counted the wrong way. Oh my God, but that was 5 more. Okay. And you're done with those. So that is the beginning. It seems simple, but these exercises are so effective when done correctly with that breath, tying that movement into that breath. And so, good luck. I say you stay here for 4 weeks and then you move on to part 2, which is the rebuild section.